May the come to order. Court once again.
Deputy Jones, thank you. In the Conrad Murray case, the defendant is present with his counsel as before. The people by their counsel as before. All jurors and the alternates are present as well. Good afternoon again. Thank you. The people may now call their next witness.
Thank you. You can call Antoinette Gill.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Please be seated. Please state your name for the record. Spell your first and last names.
Antoinette Gill, Antoinette. Last name Gill.
Ms. Gill, good afternoon.
Hi.
Let me provide you with some instructions which I give to every witness in every case. The first, please sit back and relax. The second, please speak in a loud voice so all of us can hear you. The third, if you are called upon to provide an answer to a question and you can answer it yes or no, use those terms rather than slang or which can be a little confusing. And lastly, please wait until you hear an entire question before you even start to answer it. In our everyday lives, many of us think we know the answer, so we start answering a question before we hear the entire question. In court, wait till you hear the whole question first and then respond. Is that acceptable?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Brazil, a direct exam, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Gill.
Good afternoon.
Where do you live? What city and state?
I live in Las Vegas, Nevada.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm self-employed. I'm a cosmetologist.
Do you work in a specific location?
Yes, I work at a hair studio in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Do you recognize the defendant in court, Conrad Murray?
Yes, I do.
How long have you known the defendant?
For over 10 years.
Indicating Dr. Murray, the defendant.
Thank
Okay.
you, Your Honor.
I've known Dr. Murray for over 10 years.
And how is it that you first came to know him?
I was referred to him by a client of mine.
At some point, did you become a patient of his?
Yes.
Ms. Gill, sometime in mid-June, did you receive a letter from Dr. Murray's medical practice?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I have an exhibit previously marked as People's Number 40. Ms. Gill, I'd like you to take a look at the exhibit that I'm placing on the overhead projector.
We'll dim the lights for a moment.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Gill, are you able to see what has been marked as People's Exhibit 40 that's been placed on the projector?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that look familiar to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the letter or a copy of the letter that you received from Dr. Murray's medical practice informing you that he would be going on a sabbatical?
Yes, ma'am.
Once you received that letter, did you contact Dr. Murray?
Yes, ma'am.
And when was that? What date?
That was June 25th, 2009.
Approximately what time did you call Dr. Murray?
Between the hours of 8 and 9.
Did you call him at his office?
No, ma'am.
How did you reach him?
By cell phone.
And so you called Dr. Murray's cell phone number, and did he answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a conversation with him?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember the conversation that you had with him?
No, ma'am.
Did you have a conversation for a short or a long period of time, do you remember?
It was a very short conversation.
Was there anything unusual about the conversation, or would you say that it was just a typical, normal type of conversation that you'd had on the phone with Dr. Murray on other occasions?
It was normal.
Ms. Gill, before coming to court today, did you take a look at some phone records that depicted your cell phone number on the date of June 25th and the time of the call that you placed to Dr. Murray's cell phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you People's Exhibit number 52. Your Honor, may I ask the court to dim the lights one more time? Thank you, Mrs. Benson.
Mrs. Benson, thank you.
Ms. Gill, directing your attention to where my red laser pointer is, do you see your phone number next to the time of call 8:49 a.m. in yellow?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your phone number, 702-683-5217?
Yes, ma'am.
You can turn the lights on, Ms. Benson. Thank you. So you had a brief conversation with Dr. Murray, and you had received that patient letter. Were you seeking a referral for another physician?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever receive a referral for another physician?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Gill. I have no further questions.
Ms. Brazil, thank you. Cross-examination?
No questions. Thank
Sure
you.
enough, thank you. May Ms. Gill step down subject to recall? Ms. Brazil?
Yes, thank you,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Chernoff?
Yes, certainly, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Gill, I want to thank you for your testimony. Please don't discuss it or the facts of the case with any other witnesses till we finish the trial. While you may step down and leave, you are to remain on call, and that means you're subject to being recalled up until the end of the trial if necessary. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
May I see counsel, please?